When was the last time you were willing to bet on yourself and invest in the process of self-discovery, which in turn will give you the tool of self-confidence, allowing you to seize your aspirations and greatest hopes? Essentially, what I'm asking you is, are you aware of your personal capabilities and the value that it brings to the world? Are you self-aware of the greatness that lies within you? It's a fundamental question that we all have to answer on an individual basis, because we all collect the wisdom of experience at different points in our lives. And if we have a guiding principle to get it done and we know how to accelerate the process, it's a part of our arsenal that will extend our longevity of promise and strengthen our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. For my friend, Michaell Magrutsche, he's a creativity awareness educator who was given well over 150 interviews worldwide on the subjects of leadership, neurodiversity, human-centric versus system-centric leadership. And he says that awareness is key. More assertively, Magrutsche says awareness is everything. He believes that our number one human disturbance lies within our unawareness in living in a system habit versus how we function as a species of nature. He says we have to create a healthy dialogue, and we can use art as a tool to get that done as well, primarily as a tool of adaptability. Magrutsche written 5 books. He's a renowned artist and someone with a great spirit for the gift of life. And his is a story I'm excited to share with all of you. So without further delay, I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program, my friend, and I'm super excited to talk to you this Friday all about your experience in business. Great to see you, my friend, and thanks so very much for being here.
Thanks, Kevin, for giving me a canvas to paint.
Absolutely, Michael. Now, I know that you're someone who believes in order for a business to succeed, they have to prioritize their understanding of the company needs and the people that they're serving in order to be invested. So I'm wondering, my friend, if we can start our conversation by you telling me what makes you so fabulous and why you love what you do.
So I was a sick child, and when I went to school, I got the second punch in my face, where I was extremely neurodivergent. I couldn't read. I was stuttering. I understood what they said, but I couldn't regurgitate it. I understood 1 and 1 is 2, but I couldn't regurgitate it. So I couldn't, in a test I failed. And so I have no education. I'm basically self-taught. And I have 8 years of school, and I had to repeat 2 of them. And I had to be with humans. I had to focus on, I couldn't fit in the system. So, I'm a good student, I'm an A student and whatever, and I could do this. I couldn't use hierarchy of systems. So I was always pushed out because I couldn't understand. And literally, I'm still out of the system. I cannot fit into a system, not because I'm a rebel, because I just work as one-on-one, like you are one-on-one. We are not, oh, this is a different race, it's a different gender. No, we are one-on-one humans, and there are good ones everywhere and there are bad ones everywhere. So we are one-on-one humans, and I found that because I could never fit in, and that's why I live. And then I found also that art creation was my savior. I found that too, that by creating, I don't need anybody to tell me I'm good or bad because I see what I create. You know,
Yeah,
I cannot tell. It's like I say, Kevin, your podcast is the best in the world, or is the best, but you know what it is because you created.
yeah, absolutely. And Michael, I know you're a big believer in the human-centered approach, my friend, or human-centric approach. So tell me why it's important for you to really build those relationships at the human level. Tell me more.
It's we created all man-made system. We create governments, Apple, Google, New York, Singapore, Ontario, whatever. We created it all. It's not that the system created humans. Humans created the system. And so what I discovered is that because I'm an artist, I discovered we are collaborative creative animals. It's not that Steve Jobs made the Apple. A group of people made the Apple, because if Steve Jobs would do the Apple company, he would still sit alone. He would still sit in his garage soldering. So we are all a group always. Like you and I create this, right? You and I create this, what we're doing right now, this episode. So we always like to create together. And when you create together, you can learn everything. You can read books and all this stuff. But when you don't experience it with another human, it's very limited. For example, if I read 10 books about love and I've never felt love, then the books are irrelevant. So without humans, systems are irrelevant. But if systems die all tomorrow, it's going to be horrible. And I'm not for that. But if it's die tomorrow, we can rebuild ourselves again, and we create new systems.
Yeah, and Michael, I know that you believe that anyone running a business really has to be at least 80% passionate about what they're doing. So I'm curious, how do you think we can align our passion and purpose with our business objectives as well?
We can do this. I think we need to be first aware that human centricity says you are one of one. So there's no Kevin like you everywhere. You are one of 8 billion people. You're very special. You're one of 8 billion people. And also, when you look at your family, you have a unique perspective of your life, meaning all your siblings and mother and father and kids, they should all think like you, but they don't. Everybody has a different perspective. So we are 8 billion people with 8 billion perspectives. And nature made us that way. Nature said, it's not just man, race, gender, sexuality. We are all one of one. And we have to find our synergistic fit. We have to find how we dance together. That's why I always say dance, because in the dance, it's not seriously, it's not linear, it's non-linear, like nature. Nature is, I say, first you do this, then you do that. So in business, if you know how stressful business is today, where it's all about money, all about, money survival. So when you do something, when I say, oh, I want to be a lawyer, I can't be a lawyer because I'm neurodivergent. So I cannot be a lawyer because lawyers make the most money, right? It's not anymore, but it was when I grew up. I cannot be an accountant because of my neurodivergence. So you got to find something that fulfills you, and fulfillment is the feedback loop that you are on the right path for you, because what's fulfilling for you is not for me. So when you do a business, it's better extension of you. So if you're a very creative person, your business must have creativity. Otherwise, you're gonna go crazy if it's all repetitive. So you need, or if you like hair and you be a hairdresser and you always like your hair and you can never get enough to do hair, then become a barber. You know, if you know, you gotta love what you do, and if you don't, then I mean, there's 97% of businesses fail after the third year because of cash flow problems. So if you don't like what you're doing, what's the point of doing something that has 3% success rate that you actually succeed?
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, Michaell, I know that you believe that our ability to possess some self-awareness is a critical element for
Yeah,
success, both in
yeah,
business leadership and branding, as well as our lives, my friend. So,
yeah.
why do you think self-awareness is key?
Because let's say I have a spouse, and all my friends says, you know, why she's not nice to you? And I said, no, I love her. I love her. I love my spouse. And then once you find out that your friends were right, they're not always right. But if you find out that she's cheating on you, she's stealing money from you, whatever, something changes. Also, when you're like, you have a disease and you don't know that you have the disease, all of a sudden you're a smoker and you have a lung cancer. The moment you understand that you are aware of lung cancer, you change, you adapt your life. And that's why the self-awareness is to adapt to yourself, because you are 101. And to adapt to yourself is very important, because the power is not that you adapt to others, but that you are you. That's why I love you, what you're doing. You're not coming out, you know, hey, I'm the superstar. You just do, what you love doing. And why shouldn't you? You know, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. And Michaell, tell me, what is your definition of inclusion in the workplace and in business? How do you define that, my friend?
So, you know, we are by nature one of ones. And nature doesn't segregate us in races or anything. So when we are by nature, we are inclusive naturally. We don't have to force inclusion we have to just say, instead of saying, I need to have 3 black guys, 3 white guys, 3 Asian guys, 2 women, 2 gay guys. That's not how it works. That's not the dance. You got to go, what is for this business? And when in this business, if it's everybody is black or white, or in that business, everybody's a woman, that's okay. But not to say, now I have to put all the other people and do it linear. We all have to understand we are not race. Race is secondary. We are not gender. Gender is tertiary. We are not a sexuality or whatever our preference. We are not religion. That's all afterwards. First, we are one of one humans. And those are generally, by nature, are we equal? Because nature doesn't say, oh, I like the elephants, but I don't like the monkeys. It doesn't, it just, you are just different. And who cares? The beauty is in the difference. I don't want to meet people that are like me. I don't want to meet humans that are all the same thinking and everything, because I can't learn. I can't do anything. So actually, it systemically was segregated because it generalizes. All the white people, all the black people, all the women. You know, women are all want the money. The men are all pigs. It's just it was a generalization that segregate us. We are all one of one, and therefore we are all equal. In the system, I can be like in a government. I can be very, you know, it's like playing Monopoly. I can be very skilled, and my skill set makes me the winner of Monopoly. But in real, that doesn't mean you're a better person. That doesn't mean you're a more valuable person, because every person has something to contribute, you know?
Yeah, and to that point, communication is key to progress in my view, and I know that you believe that the world has to do a better job of learning, adopting, and confirming their truth, my friend. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if you can explain that philosophy for me today.
Yeah. So we have to first, the first superpower we have, not in the system by nature, that we got from nature, is we are creators. We are creator, as creator species. We are collective creator species. The second one is what we're doing right now, having a human-centric dialogue, because it opens your perception and it opens my perception. And then have the third one is adaptation, because if you and I are not adapting to each other, we can't speak. Because you are one of 8 billion and I'm one of 8 billion. And if we don't use our six senses to talk, yeah, we're lost, you know? So we're not linear. And so that's why you need to know about the three superpowers: creation, communication, like you and I do, like a human. Not because if you and I talk about a politician, or we talk about I'm a Republican or I'm a communist and you are a Republican, we can talk for millions of years because it's a generalization, and you cannot adapt to a generalization. So I can say I'm adapting to Kevin and Kevin adapts to me, and we can talk, versus we discuss something that is a general thing. What should all the white people do? What should all the black people do? What should all the women do? That's a generalization that you have never answered, because everybody's 101.
Yeah, and Michael, you also argue that strategies or life hacks can only be successful if we know our true essence of ourselves, my friend. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can dive into that philosophy for me.
Yeah, it's so the essence. So we know scientifically we are one of one, because everybody has a different DNA, different eyes, different fingerprints, different ears. But we need to dive in our essence. The way to do I do it is, art often shows you, because art doesn't say it has to look like certain things. So when you create art, this is where I found myself. You just create, when you have art, you just create, and then it feedback, then you see your art or you listen to your music that you made, and that gives you, and that feels good or feels not good. But you're not looking at it as, oh, is this now Miles Davis that did this? No, you said, that's me, I created that, and Miles Davis is perfect and I'm perfect too in my one-on-oneness. Yeah, so you look at certain things, or Taylor Swift or whatever. So you art helps one thing. The dance with other people helps. So when I don't see you as this kind, whatever system stereotyped you are, and I see you as, oh my God, Kevin is one of 8 billion. What a pleasure it is to dance with him. He's one of 8 billion. When do I have a chance to find a new one of 8 billion? And can then you open up, your own essence opens up, your own fulfillment opens up. And when you open up, then you feel more who you are, and you're like nobody. You can't compare yourself. This is another thing. You be clear. You can't compare yourself with anybody. It doesn't matter, because you're one of one. It's your humanity. That's why human-centric. It is your humanity that counts, not what your stereotype. I mean, women. There's women out there. They are more masculine than any guy can be, and there's guys that are more feminine than every woman can be. So it's not about the stereotypical thing, what you are in the system, or how the system says, okay, he's a male, she's a female. So it's the human.
Absolutely. And, Michael, I know that defining success is something that you believe lies in creating our own ecosystem, because everyone's journey is different, my friend. So,
Yeah.
what do you think is the key to creating success over a long period of time?
So, Kevin, I was system relevant in the systems. I was twice relevant, or three. So I worked with Robert Evans, who did The Godfather, and I was the arts commissioner of a city. That was systemic. That was a systemic success. Was I happy? No. Kevin, was I happy with the system? What the system promised? Once you have a cover of a magazine or whatever, I had that. And it didn't make me happy at all. I am more happy with dancing with you right now than any system success I had. I'm fulfilled dancing with you, and the new. I haven't talked to you ever, so there's a new thing. It's expanding me. It makes me aware. It doesn't. The system relevant. You can be very successful or not, but that doesn't mean you're happy. I am happy. I wake up, but it took me 52 years to find that out. I'm now happy to wake up and be in the moment. And if tomorrow we all die, I'm happy too. But I'm not worried about tomorrow. You know, we are here right now, and we enjoy being because we are human beings. If that makes sense, if that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael, what do you think is the key to creating a human-centric future that provides all of us with a sense of fulfillment? What do you think is the key there?
It's the updating. The problem is we really don't have a problem, but we experience the symptom of a problem, which means it's never enough whatever I do. So even if you make $1 billion today, Kevin, tomorrow you got to do more, right? It's like, it doesn't matter if you make $1 million or if you make no money. That's why I say the beggar and the billionaire think 70 to 80% about money. So that there's something wrong in the system. It's outdated. It needs to be updated. And that's what I found with my friends. I find that when you have a system, so it's always systems are always good because you say, hey, let's create a system to help people. Let's create a system where the people can go to hospital. Let's create a system where the police, so that people are in order. Let's create it. So systems are a great intention. But when you then not update the system and you just take money out of it, the system gets old. For example, education is since 1845. It hasn't updated, basically. It's still buffering get you as much, and you have to pass the grades and whatever. So it's because it was from Prussian army, the Germans, they were very good. And so it was the precursor to get kids into the army and so the army has it easier to apply to kids and tell them, hey, you need to go left, right, or whatever. But we are one of ones. And at that time we needed that, and we needed that education. But now humans have grown for their one-on-oneness, which happens through the internet because they found niches. So I'm a niche. I like I love canaries, and I like to dress up canaries. And I'm gonna find somebody that likes to dress up canaries, right? And so we find the niches, and then we had COVID. So we became more aware of our oneness. And then we said, we're not like everyone. So generalizing people to all vaccinate or all thing is always a big, big problem. We can't generalize people. And the system have to update and get new to treat humans not as race, gender, or sexuality, but use support, because that's why we have systems to support and help, to support the one of oneness, not the one that is, okay, you are disabled and you are getting that. But what is you are disabled and not fitting in the disability of the system? Then you got we leave you on the side? No, everyone has to be, it's all the one of oneness. And it's just a perception, Kevin. It's not more work. It's a perception of, hey, it's one of one. They're not like all the same,
Yeah. And Michael, I'm curious to ask you whether you think your neurodiversity provides you with a competitive advantage. What are your thoughts there?
My perception, because if I would have fit in the system, Kevin, if I would have been, oh, you're a student, you can read, you can talk, you're perfect. I would never figure that out. What I teach now, what I tell people, and the people like the view, the human-centric view versus the system relevant, because system relevant is outdated. It needs to be updated. So that's why the neurodiversity gives me. I can do a big. I always zoom out. I don't zoom in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael, you tell me that we seem to be losing sort of our human heritage or our
Yeah,
ability to collaborate
yeah.
to solve problems and make
Mhm.
decisions. So how do we get back to the center of that concept in your view?
We're doing it right now, Kevin. You and I are dancing, and we show how we can actually function with each other. This is what the podcast is, the magic of podcasting, because you see other people. You don't see the superstars only. You see the normal people, the people that are in daily life. You don't see just that. That's what is distorting us so much, because on media you see only the top. You see the leaders and all. You never experience other humans. And but the fact that you and I can dance, you know, is showing that we are not nothing. We show them when every human is important by just being. We're not complaining. We're just being us. Is that great?
Yeah, absolutely. I always say, Michael, that everyone's portrait of success is different, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because all my successes in systems, number one, that didn't make me happy. And I think it's more successful that you and I have a good episode than achieving a goal or whatever. I don't care. Once you have the goal, tell me one human that achieved the goal and that changed his life. No, he achieved the goal, was happy that he got an Oscar, got an Emmy or whatever, got an award or whatever. But then the next day he has to do more. It's because the system is so outdated, and it says no matter what you win or what you think, you just have to repeat it again. You have to do more. You have more. It's always more. There's so many products out there. You can't even find the right product for you because there's too many. We don't have time to look through all the products. And that's why we have to talk to each other and dance with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Michael, talking to you, I'm also curious to ask you about the value of, time and discovering your passion and your purpose and your individual purpose in life, my friend. So tell me about the urgency of the matter when we talk about maximizing our moments of difference. Isn't that important?
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is in systems, time is horizontal. But you know that time, when you go through your memory or you think, oh my God, I thought I talked to you a year ago, and then you look at the calendar and say, oh my God, I talked to Kevin 10 years ago, and it feels like an hour. So time is not a horizontal, a linear thing. Time is not like we have to do this, and then we have to do that, and then we have that, because humans are nonlinear. So when time is not time is not horizontal, it's vertical. And so you really don't run out of time. You are like a flash. You come here on earth and you start to be physical, and so you come from a non-physical into the physical, and then you experience, because you're so much, every one human is so much. You cannot say, okay, now you got to be physical right away, fully. If anybody of us would be fully what you, for example, in your age, if you would fully be when you were a child, you would burn up. It wouldn't be possible. So you have to learn what it is to be as a spirit, to be physical. And once you learn that, you learn, grow up, you learn to integrate with other people, then with the world. And then at the end of the age, you learn what you need to learn, and then you leave that realm. That is not a bad thing, because you die every night. You're out. Every night you are out in the non-physical. So it's just at the end of your life, you're just like you sleep. you're good. So this was a nice trip, and this is like a trip here, and that's why we need to embrace every moment and not being in a mind construct of, in the future I want to be the best this and the best that, and I want this goal and I want that. No, just enjoy the moment, because if you don't enjoy the moment, how can you ever grow from that? If I was saying I want a Rolls Royce, I want this, I want a lot of jewelry, I want all this stuff, why would I say that when that means what I'm saying is I need that to be happy. Mm-hmm. If I can't be happy now, like you and I are, then what then I say I'm not happy. So then I'm never gonna get to that what I want. And that want is always a lack. I can want it. There's nothing wrong wanting things, but I'm happy now. And that's the key thing. I'm happy now. And success is built on that, not on if I have a Royce, if I have that, then I'm happy and successful. No. You are successful right now, and you have to be, whatever the situation is, poor. I was 3 times homeless. So, you get into that, and then you get out of it. And then you have to be, whatever you be in your life, you have to be happy. Make you feel comfortable. Not saying it couldn't be happier, but I'm not saying, no, be poor. No. Be happy in your position that you are.
Yeah, and how do you think that translates to really measuring whether we're living a truly human-centric and relevant life, my friend? How do you think that translates?
That you're fulfilled, Kevin, when you feel fulfilled, because your fulfillment is, for example, playing cards. My fulfilled is saving little kittens. When you are fulfilled in your experience of life, you're on the right path. If you suffer, suffering is an emotion that always is here, that we don't suffer, to make us aware, so you're somewhere off because you suffer. So let's just see where you need to go to not suffer. Don't worry about the suffering. So you suffer. Okay, I'm suffering from this. My knee hurts. So I'm going to look at that I don't use that knee so often. It's moving you away. The suffering moves you away that you don't suffer. And it gives you the emotion that, oh my God, this is, and people go into the suffering. It's just a feedback loop. When you feel angry, you want to control something. It's just a feedback loop. It doesn't matter. So you're feeling angry. Feel the anger. Don't suppress the anger. Feel angry. I'm feeling angry right now. Don't put it on other people. Just feel it. Feel it whenever you feel. I feel sad. Okay, I feel sad. I'm depressed. And usually depression is when you don't express your one-on-oneness. Because the moment I was very depressed, I had anxiety, I had panic. When I expressed my one-on-oneness, I have no more depression.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. And tell me, how do you define a life purpose, Michaell? And how do you think vulnerability to be open with our feelings can also act as a competitive advantage?
Because it puts you in a situation. Okay, there's 3 vendors. Okay, you have a business, totally systemic. And there's 3 vendors that all have the same thing. Where are you going to when your feeling is really bad with one? He's the cheapest, but it's really bad with that person. So would you want to do it because he's the cheapest? Or do you want to do it with the one that is not the most expensive, but it's just a little bit more expensive, but you have a really good feeling? When something doesn't work, you can call him. He will come here and help you or she. And that's, so you can totally take your vulnerability. And also I say vulnerability is nakedness. You just be the naked you, the one-on-one. You don't have clothes on. You're nothing. I mean, metaphorically, you have no clothes on. You're just you, essentially. And when you do that, you are guided, because success is what you think success is. I think I'm poor, but I'm very successful for me. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm very successful for me because I love what I feel fulfilled with what I do every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael, my final question for you today has to do with your own uh, individual, personal, and professional legacy, my friend. And how do you want that to be defined?
I want it to be defined by Michael. So often people say, "Oh, here's Michael. He wrote 5 books and did this and that." I said, "No, no, no, no. But I have also no education, and I'm just Michael. I'm one of one. I'm just focusing on the one of one. I'm not focusing on the system relevance. That I was a arts commissioner. That I worked with this. That I wrote 5 books. I'm not focusing on that. It's irrelevant. It's what I did in the past is irrelevant. I'm here right now with you." And with you are Michael and you are Kevin. That's it. When you can lean into this and not embarrassed and not to, I need to tell Kevin was a great guy I am. No, I'm just Michael and you are Kevin. And we dance and we learn in our question and answering. We're learning. We open our unique perspective.
It's all about presence and being in the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And Michael, finally tell me, if people want to get connected with you, my friend, what's the best way they can do that?
Just go on my website. I'll make it simple, michaelm.com, Michael with 2 L's, michaelm.com.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, you're really doing great work in the field of human behavior, business, and entrepreneurship, my friend. I want to thank you for being here and engaging in conversation to answer my questions today. It's great to see you, and thanks for your insight, my friend. It's most appreciated.
Anytime, Kevin, just call me and we do it again. Okay? Anytime.